Crazy morning here in Israel. So I'm lying in bed, trying to snooze past my alarm a little bit. It's about 6:30 something a.m. It's completely dark. All the blinds are closed, and an air raid siren goes off. Now, when an air raid siren goes off, you also have one on the mobile phone as well. So you have these two kind of different sirens going at the same time. So I was like halfway asleep. Luckily for me, I wasn't fully asleep, but I was naked. I was stupid. I should have worn shorts at least to bed because I got to go out to the public shelter, which is about a half a block from my apartment. So I'm now walking around in the dark trying to find my shorts. And what I didn't take into account is that this flashlight on the phone is flashing as well as a warning part of the app. And so I can't find my shorts because I'm blinded. it was kind of crazy, right? So I got out my apartment, and there's an old lady who lives across from me, and she didn't want to go to the bomb shelter. She said it was a bit hard for her to walk. She didn't have to run, but just to walk quickly. And there's another older lady from the apartment building, and we were both encouraging. Said, "Come on, let's go." And she said, "No, I can't." So we had to make a decision right then. I normally, when Hamas was attacking with rockets back some months back, I would sit with her because she didn't want to run to the actual public shelter underground. So I'd sit with her on the bottom level of the apartment building in the stairwell in an area that's kind of covered, because Hamas's missiles were not as big as Hezbollah's. If it was a direct strike, then yes, we would be in a lot of trouble. But I thought the chance of it being a direct strike was kind of low. First of all, Iron Dome takes most of them out of the sky, but still, if there was the occasional direct hit, but I'd have to be pretty unlucky for it to hit our particular apartment building. So I took the chance. I'd just sit with her, and in case something happened, I could help. I don't know. That's what I was thinking. But Hezbollah's rockets and the missiles are very different. They're much bigger, and they don't have to have a direct hit to be devastating. They can hit somewhere like, even a good distance away and still cause a lot of damage. So I decided I've got to get to the shelter. And so the other older lady, I took her along and said, "Let's go. Let's move." And so we got to the shelter. All the people from the neighborhood are coming out, and they're all in their pajamas, right? So you can see who sleeps in like a Donald Duck t-shirt, and who's got like goofy pajamas and all of this, right? People are like half asleep, no makeup. And so it was kind of a funny way to see the neighborhood, but it's not the first time. And we waited for the air raid sirens to stop, and then you got to stay in there for a certain amount of time just to make sure that that it's all over, that there's no shrapnel falling from the sky, nothing like that. And then we all went back to our apartments and got on with our day. I just got ready for my day, worked out, did my had a shower, got ready for work, and hit the road. But what's clear right now is that the Israeli Air Force, the Israeli Defense Force, is taking out Hezbollah's weapons that they've been stockpiling and not really stockpiling, they've been preparing in people's apartments throughout southern Lebanon. They've been doing that for about 20 years now. In 2006, at the end of the last war Israel had with Hezbollah in Lebanon, the United Nations imposed what they called Resolution 1701, which demanded that that Hezbollah go back about 20 kilometers, that's about 8 miles, behind the border. So they couldn't pose a direct threat to Israel. They could still fire missiles and rockets, but they couldn't directly invade. But Hezbollah never went back because the UN couldn't enforce that. They put a peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon, supposedly to enforce it, but Hezbollah just killed two of their members, and the UN peacekeeping force just gave up. That's all it took, right? Like, we're out of here. So they don't really play seriously, and the UN couldn't enforce it. So it's really rich when the UN condemns Israel for striking Hezbollah in Lebanon, because the UN couldn't enforce their own resolutions. They're too weak. Israel's got to take care of business themselves. But Israel's been living with this cloud of this northern neighbor with about 150,000 missiles and rockets pointed directly at Israel, some of which are precision guided and some of which are very big warheads, and thinking, at some point this could rain down Armageddon. And what we didn't know was that, and I guess it stands to reason, but the IDF knew where all those missiles were being placed. So now it's coming to light that Hezbollah was paying people in southern Lebanon to keep those missiles in their basements and in their garages, and in their buildings. And even if they weren't paying them, you don't have much choice. If Hezbollah says do something, you don't get the choice to say no. They're just ruthless thugs. It was the same in Gaza, where Hamas built tunnels under children's bedrooms. Just to, first of all, so that Israeli Defense Force wouldn't think to go there. And then when they realize they're like, you think twice about going into a child's bedroom, right? And if you do go into it, because ultimately you got to go in, you got to get the hostages, got to get whatever weapons are stored down there, the Hamas operatives, you got to go in. Then the images start to come out of, well, Israel has attacked a child's bedroom, right? And it's all just a ploy. So these jihadists, they just totally abuse their populations. What a lot of people don't understand is that Lebanon, not too long ago, only a couple of decades ago, about 3 decades ago, was a beautiful place. Beirut was called the Paris of the Middle East. Now it's desolate. Lebanon is broke. We've seen videos coming out of Lebanon of people robbing banks, not to steal other people's money, but to get their own money back, because the banks are withholding people's money. They won't allow people to withdraw because they don't have enough money. The whole banking system is broke. So people have lost their life savings and they're resorting to having to rob a bank to get their own savings. That's how dysfunctional that country is under Hezbollah. It has completely destroyed that country. We had that blast at the port because all that ammonium nitrate was being stored in the port by Hezbollah. What were they storing it for? Well, that's just munitions, right? So they've killed Lebanon as it was. So hopefully now, what the IDF has done in the last week, by destroying Hezbollah's command structure, by destroying their communication structure, they've shown that they know where these missiles and rockets are, certainly most of them, or a lot of them, and they're taking them all out. Hopefully, it'll not only lift that cloud from Israel, where we're not under threat of this bombardment at any moment, but it will also allow the Lebanese people a chance, maybe a chance, to get back their country. That's a long shot, because Hezbollah is very deeply embedded. And I don't think Israel's going to fight that war for Lebanon. But that's up to the Lebanese people. But it's all done by Iran. Iran they don't even care about Hezbollah, they don't care about Hamas, they don't care about the Lebanese people, they don't care about the Palestinian people. They're just on a mission to dominate the Middle East, and they just want to get everyone out of the way. They've already destroyed Syria, they've already destroyed Lebanon, they're trying to do the same to Israel. So we don't take life for granted here, but it's a beautiful day, and the IDF is proving to be strong, to be intelligent, to be humane, and we're going to win this. And I predict that after this war, Israel is going to be seen in the eyes of the world as totally badass, and it's going to get a lot of respect. So don't worry about all this noise that you're hearing in the media. The media companies, they're all just liars. They're all just biased and trying to sell a story. Look at the comments. Go into the Guardian online on YouTube. Go to CNN, BBC, MSNBC, any of these mainstream media organizations. Never mind what they say about Israel. Look in the comments and you'll see it's all support, because Israel is proving that it can get the job done. And a rising tide lifts all boats. As people see Israel is strong, they become stronger as well. So that's a quick update from Israel. Go ahead and make today amazing. There's a lot of people who are struggling and suffering right now on all sides because of this. And a lot of people are giving their lives. And there's a phrase that is said every Memorial Day in Israel. And that is that, speaking of those who have died, whether in terrorist attacks, in war, soldiers who have given their lives, there's a phrase that says, in death, they command us to live. So a lot of people have paid a very heavy price so that we can have a beautiful day and go about our business. So make it amazing.